Welcome to Section 5. This is all about the text tool. In this first video, we're going to be doing an overview. Now, the text tool is very powerful and there can be lots and lots of things you can do with it, but it can get kind of confusing at the same time. So let's go ahead and let's hide that text, and we're going to go in and grab the text tool, which is up here, or you can see if you hover over, it'll tell you the hotkey, which is Command T since I'm on a Mac. And let's just write something. Now, first off, if you don't have like your character palette up or say your paragraph, then you'll want to put those up. So make sure you go to Window and make sure they're checked on. So with this, I can align it to the left, to the middle, to the right. I can align it to the different parts of the composition, and that's in the align. I can also do the same thing with the paragraph. I can have it left justified, middle, or right justified. So we're going to go middle justified and align this right in the center. Now, here in the character palette, this is where I can change my font and my typeface. I can change the colors, and I have, well, let's get this to something a little more bold. And right now I have the fill set as white, but I can also, if I click right here, that's the stroke, and I can put a stroke on this, and then here's the stroke thickness, just down here to the left. And you can see it's kind of eating into the text, because it's right here, it's set to stroke over fill. If we go to fill over stroke, then it just goes behind. But as you see, there's all fills over stroke, and then just fill over stroke. On just plain fill over stroke, we can see each letter is over the next one. It's kind of a cool effect if that's what you're going for. But if we set it to all fills over stroke, then everything is behind. But I don't want a stroke on this, so I'm going to turn that off, set that back down to 0. Now I want to show you some of the things you can do in a text tool. The way to get to it is down in the timeline. So click on your text layer, click into it, and it just says text. And as we go in there, you can see there's some path options and some more options. And I just want to quickly kind of show you what we can do. Let's make this a little bit bigger. If we go to animate, there's all these different things you can animate. The anchor point, the position, the scale, even you can add some blur to it. You can offset the character values and have the line anchor and line spacing and tracking. You can even animate the fill color and the stroke color and the stroke width. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to animate the position. Click that. And this is different than the position in the transform. This is animating the text within the text layer, not the text layer itself. And there's some cool things you can do with it. So let's move the position down to the bottom. And then there's this range selector. And what the range selector is selecting the beginning percentage, so right at 0 at the very beginning, to the end, which is 100 at the very end. Everything between those two values is going to be affected by this effector, this position. So if I take this end and put that at 50%, well, then only the first half is going to be affected by that position movement. You can see right there, and as I sweep this across, it does some cool animations. Now say if I make it so just 2 letters are down, so that's at 22, you can see there's a red line on both sides. If I come to this offset, it's going to offset everything. Kind of a cool look. Set that back down to 0. If we go into advanced, there's a lot more, and we're going to get really deep into this into the next video, but I just want to get you familiar with it here. The units are based on percentage, which is right here, 0 to 100%. But if we switch that to index, then it's based on the index of the letters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the space, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this one's at 0. Set that one to 9. It's all the way 8. So the index is each character value. So there's 2 ways of doing your range selector. Let's set that back to percentage. Also, you can have it based on characters, or characters excluding the spaces, words or lines. So if we go to words, then it's going to go 1 word at a time. Now we can also change the amount in here. So if we change that to 35%, then it's only going to go 35% of this original. Set that back to 100. There's some more options in here that we're going to get to in the later video. Now you don't have to just have one animator per the range selector. So on this range selector I have position. If I come in here and also do scale, and scale that up, let's go to that range selector and let's animate this. I'm going to set that back to characters. Keyframe the animation from 0 to 100, and you can see it's changing position and scale at the same time. So that is the text animator tool, and we're going to talk all about animators and do some complex animations in the next video.